Need to know how to use this tool called a speed square? Well, in this video, we're gonna go over exactly how to use it. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. Let's get started. All right, so the most common thing that people know that the speed square does is make simple right angles. So you can just take this edge and stick it on whatever edge you want to make a square line off of, and simply just make a straight line, and you got a right angle, perfectly straight. And now, the next thing most people use the speed square for is, if you look here, you got scribe notches. So they're in 1/4 inch increments, and all you gotta do is put your marker or your pencil right in one of those scribe notches and makes marks straight for whatever you're going to be using it for. So if you're going to rip this 2x4 down and you need a straight line, that's going to be perfect for that application. And if you look, they go across, like I said, every 1/4 inch. So that would be your inch mark. Then your next mark here is going to be your 1.25 inches, so on and so forth. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is these marks here. Those are your layout reference lines. So they go across here. This one's 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inch, 3 inch, so on and so forth. So let's say we're going to make our layout off this line. So we would put it here, and let's say we need to make a 2 inch mark. All you got to do is do that, make a straight line. And now between both of these, we got a perfect 2 inch mark. So a great use for this speed square is doing layout for a 2x4 wall. So from here to here, we got a little over 7 inches. So it's enough to accommodate two 2x4s laying together. So let's say our layout starts right here off this line. So we'd simply scribe across both plates and then go ahead and continue our 2x4 layout. So let's say our next stud's right here. All you gotta do, place your speed square across both of them and then make your lines and then an X. So the next thing I want to talk to you about are these common numbers right here. They're listed as common. As you can see here, a little arrow pointing to all these numbers. So this is the next most used part of a speed square. So these are used for making plumb cuts for rafters. And all you got to do that, let's say right here's our point we're going to go off of to make our plumb cut. All we got to do is lay our pivot point up next to the mark, and then right here on these common numbers, line it up to, let's say we're going to do a 6/12 plumb cut. We just line the 6 in line with the straight edge of our material, and then scribe our line. And then this is a 7/12 plumb cut line. And this can be used to make your rafters where they butt against your girder, or wherever you're making tails for your rafters. And then let's say we want to do a 7/12. Again, you simply line your common number up right there like that. Scribe your line, and now this is a 7/12. And now one cool thing about a speed square is it has a protractor on this side. So right here, these are all degrees. So we start from 0, goes clear up to 90 degrees. And to use this, let's say we want to know the degree of that 7/12. If you line it up on your angle, look over here, we got about a 30-degree angle. And now let's say you're doing a 7/12 roof pitch, and we know, if you look here, we got a 30-degree angle, and we need to know the long angle for doing your level line cut where it meets the roof. So all you got to do is subtract 30 from 90, and all you will come up with there is 60. So now we know this 7/12's complementary angle is going to be 60 degrees, like this. So this is going to be the cut. Say you're doing a valley cut. I'll put a link to a YouTube video of where I was building a small roof, and that's how you get the complementary angle to your short 7/12. Okay, so I'm going to now show you how to use this speed square to do a bird's mouth. So I already made a 6/12 plumb line right here. So if you look here, 6, and then we scribed our line, and now these lines right here are used to make the bird's mouth line. So how you do this is pretty simple. You just flip your speed square around, line this line up with your existing plumb line, and then you want to slide it down to wherever you want to make your bird's mouth. So we got it lined up nice and straight there. And that looks about right. And make our line. And now when you cut this out, that's going to be seated right on your 2x4 plate. Okay, now it's time to explain what this diamond's for. It's for making a bird's mouth for a rafter. So to do that, I went ahead and made my plumb line here for a 6/12 roof pitch. And now all you gotta do is flip your speed square over, put your pivot point right across the edge of the material and slide it over till you intersect your line. And more or less all this does is make a 45-degree mark off of your plumb line. So as you can see there, the line's going right through the diamond. Go ahead and scribe your line. And now this, once you cut it out, that makes your heel cut and your seat cut for your bird's mouth. So that's the mystery behind this diamond everybody asks about. Now I'd like to just point out, this is the seat cut and heel cut made by these lines that I showed you earlier. And this is the seat cut, heel cut for the bird's mouth using the diamond. And as you can see, you get pretty similar results. Okay, now I'm going to go over what these numbers are for. This is your Hip-Val numbers. It's the same idea as the common, other than this for common roof and this is for your hip and valley roof. So if you're not sure what a hip and valley is, I'm going to throw a picture up on the screen what that is. So wherever your top cut hits on your girder for your hip and valley is what this is for. So let's say we're going to do a 7/12 for your hip roof, and you would just do your 7, make a mark just like you would with your common side, and that is for your hip and valley top cuts. So if you wanted to use this speed square as a protractor, all you got to do, it's same idea as all the other lines, other than you use these bottom lines for your protractor. So let's say we need to make a 25-degree angle. Just line your 25-degree up with the edge of your material, keep your pivot point tight, and then just scribe your line. So this line is a 25-degree line. And that's pretty straightforward, but you may have not have known that. And the next thing I wanted to show you is how you can take this, and if you're framing walls, I'd recommend using a framing square, but if you're in a pinch and you just need to make sure a wall square, so if this is your wall butting into another wall, all you have to do is put your speed square in the corner of it, and that just gives you a quick reference if you're setting square or not. So let's say you're doing a remodel and there's already a pre-existing roof and you need to know the pitch of that roof. I set up this mock rafter here. So if this is your rafter going up, all you gotta do is you can just take a chalk line and lock the wind handle in, and it creates a plumb bob, or just use a string with a weight on the end. And all you gotta do, let's go ahead and just hook it onto your rafter. Now you take your speed square and you'll want to use the long side that's going to lay flat against the rafter. So all you got to do is place it underneath the rafter and slide it up until you get your pivot point in line with the square. So as you can see here, it crosses through the 3/12 pitch. So your pivot point intersecting the chalk line while it's tight against the rafter gives us a 3/12. So right now we know this rafter is a 3/12 pitch. So that's the basics on how to use a speed square. And this speed square is made by Swanson. It's probably the most common speed square there is. I'll put a link in the description where you can go buy it from Home Depot. I'm an affiliate with Home Depot, so I do get a little kickback if you do buy it. Just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. And I do want to say I appreciate you watching. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about building your own house and saving a ton of money. And I also do things like tool reviews. I do some DIY projects and other things like that on top of it. So it's very educational. We have a lot of fun on this channel. You definitely want to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video as well. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. I got to get up to the house. I got a bunch of bracing I still got to do yet. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.